As prices seem to be very weak right here, let's just relax and realize that we are still far from the 35.6% decline that we had when we hit about $81,000. We are still at $89,000 right now. So you got to relax. But here's what's interesting here is that the Ethereum Foundation moved 1,000 Ethereum. Now, as you know, the Ethereum Foundation has been very good in prior bull markets to sell their ETH during times before large collapses have happened, especially before bear markets happen. So should you be panicked right now that the Ethereum Foundation is transferring ETH? Okay, no. And let me explain to you this. 1,000 ETH isn't very much ETH at all. Okay, so let's go back in history. In 2018, the foundation sold 70,000 ETH to prepare for the bear market. 70,000, and they sold it. So just moving your ETH, their ETH, doesn't really matter, okay? It matters when they sell it. Now, also, more recently, the foundation sold 35,000 ETH in February. Time right before the market dropped. I think we went to around $1,500, $1,600, which we were actually buying ETH when it dropped that low at learningcrypto.com. Definitely check that out. You can see all my trades. So that 35,000 ETH being sold and then 70,000. So this is nothing to worry about. 1,000 ETH. Okay. So just relax. I still think we are in a bull market, and very few people actually think we're in a bull market right now, but I am one of those people that do think we are. All right. And that is why we are dollar cost averaging on the way down. Now, we already sold Bitcoin close to the top, and now we are slowly buying back. And we don't buy back all at once because that's ridiculous. You don't want to do that because you don't know how low it's going to go. So that is why you slowly buy down. Don't use all your money at once. Okay. So now we also have addresses with 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin are buying Bitcoin like never before. Check this chart out. Look at this. So this is smart money. Okay. The dumb money is panic selling. That's dumb money. Okay. The ones that understand Bitcoin, that understand what is happening around the world. Because, I mean, if you look at just the price of Bitcoin and you look at the US dollar occasionally, you may think nothing's wrong. You may think everything's fine around the world. But in reality, there's never been so much debt that's been swirling around the globe for the last, couple decades, especially now. Okay, global debt is ridiculous. I think it's like $350 trillion right now. Global debt. And it's not going to go down, okay? So that is why we own Bitcoin, because there's not too many places where you can place your fiat, which is, government-based currency, to keep up with this amount of inflation that's going to be happening and will continue on happening. So now let's go over to the United States, where the US government is going to be really cracking down on US citizens that are trying to hide their crypto. You're not going to be able to do this anymore. I know like 70 to 75% of Americans failed to share their profits with the IRS last year, and that's probably not going to happen anymore. Now, keep in mind that I warned against this. The crypto bros were very happy to have the US government involved with this, to have the IRS involved with this, have, BlackRock and everything, all the government essentially saturating themselves in the crypto space. And this is what you get. Here's an actual tax form right here that says list all virtual currency you own or in which you have a financial interest. Example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, etc. Attach a statement. This is where it gets really good. Attach a statement with each currency's public key and who has access to the private key. So, man, you know what? If you don't listen to Heidi and I, like if you don't heed our warnings in this space, you're going to be led the wrong way. And these crypto bros have led you the wrong way. And now you're paying the consequences for this. You're going to have to literally tell the government who has access to these private keys that you have. Very sad state in the United States. That's disgusting, actually. Moving on, talking about disgusting, this guy is ridiculous. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, this guy is one of the biggest fakes in crypto, says most of these altcoins, which I call poo-poo coins, are done. Only Bitcoin and Ethereum will survive. And keep in mind, this is the same guy, he's lecturing us about which coins will be good. The same guy that got paid about, $18 million from FTX, from Sam Bankman-Fried, to shill his project. Interesting. So with that said, you're going to listen to this guy, that got paid that much? No. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, let's go over to the Federal Reserve puppet Trump. No, they're all puppets. Come on, you know that by now. Listen to George Carlin if you don't understand how the world really works. Okay, so Trump says, we fixed inflation. We fixed almost everything. If you want to know the truth. So this is really sad because we all know inflation is skyrocketing in the United States and globally, but especially in the United States when they're printing $1 trillion every 70 days. And he's saying there's no inflation. So nothing's going to be done to fix the inflation problem in the United States. You know this. You've been listening to this channel for ages now. You all know that would never happen. So what does that mean? It means they're going to print. And guess what loves monetary inflation? Bitcoin. And lastly, I can't leave it without this. The US M2 money supply hits new all-time high. Of course, you're going to see this time and time again, of $22.3 trillion. So what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that these guys are just getting started with printing currency. You may be thinking, well, what are you talking about? They're printing $1 trillion every 70 days. Guys, you haven't seen anything yet. As you know, one of my predictions is by the time the next election starts, the U.S. will be on the road to be printing about $1 trillion every 20 days. And that number of days will continue to go down and down and down to eventually, I can promise you this. Every day the U.S. will be printing $1 trillion in time. I don't know when that date will be, but you know what's happening right here. They are hell-bent to go ahead and do whatever they can to impoverish its citizens so that the more impoverished a citizen is, the more they are going to rely on government help. So when they have to rely on government help, government can get away with anything. Check out learningcrypto.com. Talk to you guys soon.